Hello and welcome to Jajaonan's A to Z of spiritual jazz. You may ask what spiritual jazz is. It came about when John Coltrane released this album, I Love Supreme, in 1965. Fantastic album. And it ushered in a whole new way of looking at jazz and making jazz. Mixed in elements of modal and hard bop jazz and free avant-garde jazz that was being played by people like Ornette Coleman, and it was garnished with ethnic musical instrumentation. That's a hard word to say. Usually from Africa, India, and East Indian musical traditions, and it's generally seen as a paean to higher power. Just so happened at the time of recording this album, John Coltrane had converted to Islam. So that might have had a massive something to do with it. From here on, Coltrane and others like Pharoah Sanders, Alice Coltrane, who's John's wife, and Sun Ra took it to a whole different level. And it's, in my opinion, can be roughly split into three different styles, each with a different type of content. The first is the traditional John Coltrane, one with oneself, spiritual oneness and all that flim-flammery, usually sort of an emphasis on Christian and non-Christian traditions, also harking back to traditional religions like Zen Buddhism, some Eastern religious traditions, and even as far back as Egyptian spiritualism. It's a sort of look into yourself, a philosophical jazz, so to speak. The second style was more sort of Afro-conscious, Afrocentric, and also began with John Coltrane, with his fantastic album, Africa Brass, and that sort of ushered in a whole sort of new era. When was that released? Sometime later. I can't remember. I can't actually find out. I'll find out for you later. Get back to you. And many took that on and ran with it, and we'll have a look at some album examples later on that. And then you've got the third type, which is cosmic space jazz, led by people like Sun Ra and others, who took it, spiritual jazz, to a higher realm outside of the planetary mantle that is the Earth we live on, and outside to another universe. So let's have a look at these three styles in more depth. Hopefully there'll be some musical accompaniment if I can get my system working properly. So let's look at these three styles in order, shall we? Starting with the first, which was ushered in by John Coltrane's already shown spiritual masterpiece, which is I Love Supreme, and sounds a bit like this. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Really, really beautiful. This is a classic collection of personnel on the album as well. John Coltrane also on tenor sax, McCoy Tyner piano, Jimmy Garth on bass, as you can hear there, and Elvin Jones on drums. Brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, let's have that in the background. So, there's another album which I think is important to mention here. That's yeah. Anyway, it's just shut John there for a second. Paul Horn. This is absolutely amazing and cheap as chips. If you look on Discogs, you'll find it very, very cheap. Sounds a bit like this. 1965, same year. Although some places say 1964, which would precede John's classic album. I'm not sure that's correct or not, but this is certainly a beautiful, spiritual, gospel-y album. It's called Jazz Suite on the Mass Texts by Paul Horn. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it's composed and conducted by Layla Schifrin, who's famous for soundtracks like the Bullet soundtrack. Really good. I think I got it for like £2 off Discogs. Brilliant. Poor. This speaker system's not brilliant. Anyway, it's really good. Get hold of that if you can. Right, what else have we got? We've got other John Coltrane classics, which are not necessarily spiritual, but need mentioning. My Favourite Things is brilliant. Obviously, Blue Train, which is fantastic. This is very good. Prestige, the classic album as well. I love this one. This one's brilliant. John Coltrane Plays the Blues. And my first album by Coltrane, bought by Coltrane, is this. It's amazing. It's got some fantastically sad, beautiful ballads on it, and should make you weep. If it doesn't, probably dead inside or something. There's also Infinity, which is, you know, getting a bit way out there. And then there's the way out there, which is brilliant, but free jazz, and produced by Bob Thiele. Good. When did it come out? 1965, apparently. So John Coltrane, you know, went spiritual, and then within the space of a year, went completely out there. But hard listen for some, but I appreciate it, definitely. I think also worth mentioning is John's wife. She is obviously Alice, as you can hear now. This is my favourite album by her, Eternity. This is Spiritual Eternal, the song's called. Released in 1975. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant album. A gospel-y sort of left field, weird sounds. A couple more albums by her. This one. Universal Consciousness. Brilliant. A monistic trio. They're not so good, Transcendental, but they're fantastic. A Journey to Saxon-Dananada. Brilliant. And it's got Pharoah Sanders in it. Really good album. This is my favourite. It's just amazingly fantastic. Sounds that she created. That's from, show you again, Eternity. Brilliant. Lovely. Out there as well, way out there. Crazy stuff, but beautiful at the same time. I think also worth mentioning is this guy, Albert Ayler. You'll hear some of this stuff now. Again, way out there, but a spiritual classic. This was recorded in 1965. Well, it was recorded in 1964 apparently, but released in 1965. So this, don't think this predates John Coltrane's, but they were all sort of fighting for the place to release the first sort of spiritual type jazz album, and I think John Coltrane got there, rightly so. I like this, good, but can't really say anything else about it. It's nice. Nice background music, I suppose. There's no John Coltrane in my book, though, Albert Isla. What else we got? Oh, wow, yeah. Let's mention this one. This is beautiful stuff. This is Herbie Hancock. Thad Jones, Ron Carter, Jerome Richardson, Grady Tate, and Jonathan Klein, all producing this fantastically brilliant album. Hero Israel, Praise for Summer and Jazz. Very spiritual. You'll hear the sounds there, the technical sounds of spiritual jazz, which is the nice sort of gospel-y voice. Not actually singing anything particularly, just a nice sort of tone. Brilliant. Really nice. Really good album. Worth getting. Definitely worth getting. Joe. Moving to Britain, we've got this guy, Joe Harriott. You'll hear him now. With Amancio da Silva. Brilliant album. Absolutely brilliant. It's more of a sort of Middle Eastern, Indian spiritual sort of jazz album. But Joe Harriott was a British guy. Fantastic. Played sax. Da Silva was on guitar. You got Dave Green on bass and Brian Spring on drums. And then occasionally you got Norma Winstone on vocals, who was a very spiritual singer, especially on British jazz. He also did this album, which was good on his own. Well, not on his own, he's actually with John Mayer. You can see that. That's Joe Harriott from there. A brilliant album. Really good. Very sort of simple but spiritual and builds up different layers. Fantastic. Really, really good. Definitely worth mention is this album. A weird album. Can't say it 'cause it's quite damaged, but rare as Headless Teeth. And then you got $39 from fantastic Dusty Grooves in America, Chicago. Mary Lou Williams. Amazing album. Black Christ of the Andes. It's like a weird mishmash of barbershop quartet, gospel, rock and roll, jazz and spiritual jazz and both bop, modal, all sorts of stuff, but looking weird and great as well. Love it. Absolutely amazing. You should get hold of this. It's not easy to find though. I think this is the original. I'm really annoyed about that, but you know, glad that I own it. Fantastic album. When that came out, it was in let's show it up. It's not very helpful. That's on Mary Records. I think it's a home pressing. But yeah, I can't find the date, but it's fucking brilliant. Right, okay, so next we have this guy. Karsten Meinert Privatex. That's not easy to say. Danish, I think. Fantastic. is doing a song called Spies. He also has a version of Nima by John Coltrane, which is brilliant. And there's a song called One for Alice, which is obviously about Alice Coltrane. Brilliant album. The one from Dusty Groove, brilliant. 1969, spiritual masterpiece, as it says there. Brilliant, I love this album. Worth getting, definitely. What else we got? Oh, wow, yeah. Let's go a bit French, shall we? A bit French on this one. Another album, I love this album. Another costly album. Amazing. 1970. It's the Baroque Jazz Trio from France. I think there's a song by them on one of the spiritual jazz compilations by Jazzman Records. Really, really good. Very, very spiritual, very nice, calm music that builds up and often, you know. See, there you go. Building up, there it is. What else we got? Yeah, said that one as well, sorry. Israel Jazz Workshop, Mazare Israel Yekab Zenu, Natural, 1973, fantastic. Oh, do my bass. Just there, gets just there. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Love it. What else do we have? Oliver Lake. Sorry, mate. Oliver Lake is that dude there, looking very spiritual. Some great people on this. By Kida Carroll, Joseph Bowie, John Hicks, Charles Bobo Shaw. Wow. Released in 1971, and it's got some very, very, very sort of ambient spiritual sounds on there. Lots of ethnic-y sort of instrumentation. You can hear, or maybe you can't hear, I don't know. It's really good though, builds up, and it's a particularly good song. I'm going to call it Africa. What's this one's? This is Africa, fair enough. It's quite cheap, I think it's about 15 quid from, well it's not cheap, but vinyl isn't cheap these days, is it, as we all know. But that's direct from Jazzman Records, worth getting. Let's move it in a bit, see if we can get some more sounds going here. Yeah, okay, so let's see if I can get. What else can we get going next? Patrice Rushen. Sorry, Patrice Rushen. Amazing. Doesn't strike me from looking at the cover that this is a spiritual jazz album. Looks like some sort of soul jazz or even jazz funk, but no, it's fantastic. Patrice Rushen, it's called Prelusion. It's got Joe Henderson on it. Released in 1974 on Prestige Records. Fantastic. You can hear. Oh. Brilliant. Fantastic afro as well. Always appreciate a good afro on an album. What else we got? Let's have a look. Oh, I had that one. Oh yeah, let's have a bit of Pharoah Sanders. Pharoah Sanders is a spiritual master. This album says all. This is Pharoah Sanders, and this is called Harvest Time. Ambient, beautiful loveliness, spiritual greatness. Quite hard for that album to find again. 1977. This is a 2008 reprint, but can't really find. Oh, listen to that bass. Can't really find a decent copy. It's the original. Ooh. Other Pharoah Sanders. This one, very, 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 very classic. This is. Great as a master plan. Yes. Spiritual pose. So inside. This is original. Bob Thiel again. Bob Thiel. $1969. Pharoah's that's another Pharoah. Not my favourite, but it's $12, so let's get it. Pharoah Sanders went quite dark at one point and sort of went into the realm of free jazzy sort of style, which put me off a bit, but yeah. This guy's definitely worth mentioning. Where is he? Raphael. Wait, he does not look like a jazz. Well, not a spiritual jazz player, but apparently he is. You just hear it. Beautiful. Piano is Raphael. No name. Prince of his generation, I suppose. Rose Thompson, you can hear on the voice. John Perrett on vibes, bongos and bells. Paul Dubois on bass. And Robert Pernett on drums. Fantastic album. When was it released? 1972. On June the 3rd. Great. Haunting spiritual sounds. That's another quality of spiritual jazz is a haunting quality of the music. Fantastic. Okay, I think last but not least we should wrap this first part up because it's going to take us all day, and I want to probably do another video on the second style of spiritual jazz, which is the Afrocentric. Probably fits third styling as well, but this is going to be the last video for last few records for the first part of spiritual jazz, which is traditional sort of oneness with God and spirituality and all that. And that's so I think worth mentioning is this guy, Don Cherry, brilliant, who's big old hippie, travelled the world, especially east. Went to India, went to Morocco, Africa. Nen Cherry's dad, I think. Fantastic. This is with Latif Khan who plays bongos, tablas, not bongos, tablas. Can you hear now? Fantastic album, quite cheap as well. $19, which is that's 14 quid. It's done some other good stuff, Here and Now. All this is from Dusty Groove. Dusty Groove is dustygroove.com. Fantastic record shop. Never been there. It's my dream one day to go there. There's Don Cherry, strange looking chap, but lovely. It's relatively sweet, fantastic. It's just songs like Tantra and Desireless and Infinite Gentleness. The thing about the song titles, you can tell a spiritual jazz album by song titles. Live in Stockholm, which has got a great ABF Suite 1, which is brilliant. He plays a pocket trumpet, which I like the sound of. Great album. My favourite album though by Don Cherry, has to be said, is this one. Organic Music Society, which is absolutely beautiful. Again, reissue. 1973. Worth getting hold of. I think that's about it. I think there'll be another video shortly with concentration on Afrocentric and cosmic space age jazz, which are the two other elements I think are really sort of central to spiritual jazz, sort of styles of spiritual jazz. And I'll see you anon. Ciao.